Let's get nuts indeed, guys. Hopefully you're not too full after this past weekend. What's happening? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. How we doing out there? Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hit that like thumbs up. If you'd be so kind, do that. Hit the like button, and hey, even if you're watching, yes, please live chats, all the things, interact and whatnot, but also leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. Just saying. Hopefully you guys had a good long extended Thanksgiving weekend, at least for the people who celebrate and everything. So hopefully it's good. Let's see who's out there. All right, what we got here? Monique. Oh yeah, she's gonna make us hungry right now, guys. Marvelous Monday to y'all. It's a sausage and gnocchi. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Stir fry with broccoli cheese sauce in mi casa. I like it. Even though I don't know exactly what that is, but hey, it sounds delicious. I had a sausage. I had a sausage casserole. The first Thanksgiving dinner I had, which was on Thursday, because I had two, didn't have three, and I'll explain in a bit. Because I said I was gonna have three, but I ended up only having two. But somebody made a sausage casserole. Oh, it was so good. So freaking good. What's going on, Mr. Droga? Did some filming yesterday for an upcoming film. Oh, getting back into the filming. That's good, man. What's going on, Taladia? Good to see ya. What's happening? We got Dell. Happy Monday to you as well, sir. Always great to see you out there. All right. And who else we got here? We also got Mr. Mad Spectre. Good to see you, too. Oh, what the hell? That's William. I was like, who the hell is Mad Spectre? And then I realized that's William right there. Potato pasta balls. Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever had that. I need to look this up now. You got me curious here. You got me freaking curious right here. Let's see. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but yeah. Just looking. Have I had that? I probably have. Okay. Now that I'm seeing like different versions, I'm pretty sure I have at some point. And yes, they do look pretty damn amazing. Pretty damn amazing right there. Yeah, it's like little potato ball thingies, right? Yeah, it's like with pasta. It's gnocchi. That's what it is. Gnocchi. And I was like, oh yeah, that's got like it's got a G and an N, so obviously the G is silent because our language is so weird. Everything's so weird when it comes to our languages, So we have that, yeah, so gnocchi. I'm pretty sure I've had that at some point, but that looks freaking good. Versus Seed, what do you got? I got a peanut butter banana sandwich. Don't be jelly. I like it. Peanut butter and banana. Excellent. God damn. I almost picked up bananas today when I went to the store. Now I wish I did. I gotta it's funny because there's recipes that I want to go back to, and there was something where I was gonna conjure up something that had to do with peanut butter, banana, and Nutella or something, and then I don't know. And now you got my mind going right there. But good on that. Versus C, that sounds awesome. What's going on? JD McRae, what's happening? We got the Ghoul, aka Arkham Knight. Good to see you guys. All right, again, hit that like, thumbs up, do all the things. Like I said, hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving weekend. It was great. So, yeah, I was telling you guys that I was possibly having three Thanksgiving dinners, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it was looking like it was going to be like that because basically I went to basically my landlord's house on Thursday. They were having this big thing because, there's relations, when it comes to my nephew. They're, that's his grandparents. That's who owns this house right here. And that's why we're kind of just hey, staying here for a little bit. I think I've explained that before. So they were having a thing. So then my mom Mama Film Junkie had her Thanksgiving on Friday. And then I was going to go to my dad, Pop's Film Junkie, on Saturday. But sadly, him and his wife came down with something. They had to cancel it because they were not feeling good. So did not go to Pop's Film Junkie's house for a third Thanksgiving. So, but then I went to Mama Film Junkie's house last night, and she made ribs. She made short ribs. Excellent. It was great. So, a lot of food, a lot of eating this weekend. It's like, jeez. So I ate pretty light today. I'm not gonna lie. Basically, just ate pretty light today. That's what you got to do after a big weekend of eating and a lot of sweets. Holy shit, brownies, pies, cakes, all the kind of stuff. Then it's just like, okay, now you just got to like decompress. So anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and thank you guys. Of course, I thank you guys for, you guys just being here, showing up all the time. It's good stuff. And that's the bad part. It's like, when I stay home on a Saturday, I get a little sassy, and I got a little sassy this weekend. I did. So, I'll mention that later, when it comes to, stirring the pot a little bit when it comes to, things out there, especially when it comes to the Snyder fandom and certain people with their hashtags. Yeah, I kind of did something like that because, I was home and I watched Stranger Things. I binged watched Volume 1 of Season 5 of Stranger Things because everybody was talking about it. I didn't see too many spoilers, but I saw some spoilers, of course. Particularly how it ends, of course. I was like, oh. But it was like one of those things, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say anything right now because I don't know if you guys have watched it. That's the thing about Netflix, and we're going to be talking about Netflix, is one of the things that sucks about Netflix is like, let's face it, the weekly releasing of episodes, it just seems like it's the way to go because you just can have a conversation. So when you drop 4 episodes and they're all almost an hour long, it's like a 4-hour long movie. So I just binge watched Stranger Things, and you know what? I think it was good. It's good. Yeah, once you get over the fact that, the characters are like in their fucking 40s already, like when you get over the fact that, yeah, it's been a while. And I tell you what, when it comes to the opening recap, talk about a long recap, and then you get another recap from Robin, who's one of my favorite characters, who is basically talking about, hey, remember when all this shit went down and now this is what happening and military. I mean, you get a recap of what happened last season that lasts for like 3 minutes, it felt like, because they were like, hey, you know what? It's been a while. We got you. And then you get another little recap of what happened in between the finale to now. And yeah, so then you get 2 recaps. Just that's what they had to do. And good on the Duffer Brothers for, hey, we realize it's been a while, people. So we got to make sure that you're caught up. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 4 episodes. I wasn't sure if I was going to watch all 4 episodes, but the fact that I did tells you something right there that yes, in fact, I was enjoying it. And of course, yes, left on a crazy cliffhanger. And we'll see what happens when it comes to Volume 2, which comes out what? Christmas? So we have to wait like 3 weeks. And then the finale is going to be, and I'm telling you that little finale right there for Volume 1, it was just like one of those, oh, okay, that's how you're gonna end it. And then questions. You have a ton of questions right there. So good times. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get to the tweets already. And hey, we're gonna be talking about the DCU Batman, and well, the DCU Batman. Who's gonna be the DCU Batman? And well, last week, we had Jimmy Guns kind of talk about the fact that, hey, Brittney, I almost said Bettany. Why did I almost say Bettany? I don't know. But Tom Brittney. We talked about Tom Brittney. And so, we have people that are, of course, and I get it. They're probably using AI and stuff to create these images and everything right here. But at the same time, when I didn't really consider this guy to be like the DCU Bruce Wayne / Batman. When it came to all this, I was like, oh shit, this guy could actually work. And yes, we've got to remember that he did audition for Superman. But check out these images right here. First of all, him as Bruce Wayne right there. I don't know why he has to wear the Wayne logo right there. I guess that indicates that. But I was just like, when I saw this right here, I went, oh, he looks good in the cowl. He looks good in the cowl. And it's a very detailed looking cowl. So not too bad. Not too bad right there. I don't know. I just saw that showed across my Twitter feed, and I was like, okay. I could see it. There's something there. There's definitely something there. He's been added to the list, at least in, my list. My list. So, good times. Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane is so humble. He seems like one of those good guys in Hollywood, Thomas Jane's always one of those guys when you see him in a movie or you see him in a TV series, you go, you know what? I like Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane is great. First time I saw Thomas Jane was Deep Blue Sea, which I think a lot of us got introduced to Thomas Jane with Deep Blue Sea. He was like, the dude that knew how to handle the sharks. He was like that badass dude that can handle the sharks. And that's the first time we got introduced to him. And then, of course, he was in other things. That kind of launched his career a little bit because Deep Blue Sea is actually, it's a really good movie. It's one of those movies that really throw curveballs at you. And it's really well made, even for when it was, because there's a lot of curveballs in that movie. But Thomas Jane mentioned that in a recent interview, Thomas Jane basically said, when it came to The Punisher, I was miscast, which is not wrong. There is a little bit of a miscasting there. I mean, the first time we saw Thomas Jane, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they had a teaser for The Punisher where it was just him talking, doing narration, and then you saw him, of course, wearing the shirt and the jacket, I believe, but his hair wasn't jet black because he was obviously still filming something, so you could still kind of see that he was blonde because he's naturally blonde. So, in an interview right here, he said this. He's an Italian guy. He's got black hair and a whole different sort of lineage. I'm not that guy. I'm happy the part is now played by someone who is more right for that role. Of course, talking about Mr. John Bernthal, which I don't even think he's Italian and probably doesn't have the similar lineage, but I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying and everything. But you know what's funny about that is he wasn't the problem. He wasn't a problem. Him playing Frank Castle wasn't the problem. That fight between him and the big Russian dude was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Everything else was pretty shitty. There's a lot of other shitty things. First off, why does it take place in Tampa Bay, Florida? What? Why is The Punisher taking place in Tampa Bay, Florida? And I know people kind of shit on John Travolta when it comes to his performance as the villain. I don't even remember what the villain's name is. But I'm like, yeah, it was fine. That was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with that. But then, of course, you had the whole apartment that had, Rebecca Romijn. I always love that, too. And I mean, you got Rebecca Romijn, this hot, super hot. She's just a waitress at a diner. Yeah, she's struggling. She's totally struggling. But they had to do that one thing where it's like she was like a potential love interest. But, of course, they weren't going to have Frank actually have her be a love interest because that would kind of kill the whole hey, my family got killed and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting movie. And then I always said this too about Thomas Jane when it came, when we talk about superhero physiques, how ridiculous they can get. I'm looking at you, Hugh Jackman, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Hemsworth. When it comes to a lot of the superhero physiques where these guys are just getting just absolutely peeled, dehydrating themselves. Of course, they are using things to help get big and ripped because it's the worst kept secret in Hollywood. It's just the way it is. I always felt that Thomas Jane's Punisher physique was kind of like a good standard. He busted his ass, but he wasn't like super and veiny and all fucking vascular and peeled. He wasn't like that. If you look at those shots when he has no shirt on or whatever, he's just got a good build. He looks like a soldier. Oh yeah, I keep in shape. Even though in the movie he's constantly fucking downing whiskey and just he's an alcoholic, which I always find funny too. When it comes to that, it's well, if you're downing that much whiskey, are you really gonna have abs? Are you really gonna have abs? But I always thought his superhero physique was pretty was a good standard because it wasn't too much. It wasn't over the top. Okay, Hugh Jackman, we get it. You dehydrate yourself to all fucking, but it just looks a little too much sometimes. You look good, sure, but my God. Hey, did you know that, if hey, if Zack Snyder can't come back when it comes to like Netflix and everything, which is, God knows, I'm trying to keep up. There's like different sanctions of the restore the Snyderverse thing when it comes to everything. It's like, okay, people want him to go to Netflix. People want this studio. Obviously, Warner Brothers in the merger and everything like that. It's just, hey, who knows where he's going to come back with. But I came across this right here. But, what if Paramount decided to buy them, which is always a possibility. Hey, we got this poster right here because if that happens, we could get a Wonder Woman movie. That's right, a Wonder Woman movie. And check out this poster right here of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Paramount, in association with Zack Snyder, presents... It should be presents, not... Well, I guess present. Yeah, I guess there shouldn't be plural, because it's two things. Wonder Woman, Fall of Themyscira, The Darkness of Darkseid. Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. That's right. And, of course, created by AI. It looks cool. I'm not going to lie. Poster looks cool. I will say that. The Darkness of Darkseid. You couldn't come up with a better tagline. That's where it falls flat. But then I also go like, come on, guys, really? In association with Zack Snyder? How many times do I have to tell these guys that he's not a studio? He's not a studio. Okay? He has a production company. It's not a studio. He doesn't own a studio. He's not a studio. I don't know why there's like always like this emphasis, and that's why like when it comes to all this stuff, it's like there's this emphasis that they talk about him like he's a studio. He's not a studio. He doesn't want to run a studio. Okay, he has his production company. He wants to make movies, and that's it. And that's why I just was like, I laughed at that. I'm like, oh, that's a new one. A studio is in association with one man to create this Wonder Woman movie, The Fall of Themyscira, The Darkness of Darkseid. But again, I mean, this person does a lot of these AI posters. I've seen them, and there's a lot of stuff there. I mean, that's what this person specializes in. But when I saw that, it was mainly that. And I'm just trying to keep up. I mean, there's so much AI stuff out there, including this. Hoy. Because Zack, of course, on his Instagram, decided to post Henry Cavill and Amy Adams, which was a little selfie that you see in Zack Snyder's Justice League of Clark and of Lois. We see that on the nightstand. And, so he released that full-on picture. And, it was cool. He released that on Friday. We kind of talked about it on Friday. But then, of course, these guys, decide to, okay, well, I'm just going to make it AI and then add some other stuff to it. And, well, this is what we get right here, folks. It's just... Let's go ahead and turn that down. So, yeah, there they go. All right. Oh, whoa. What's going on? Bruce and Diana, they're posing, and then they're, what? Oh, okay. Then we got Barry and Iris. Okay. And then we got Mira and okay. We got Arthur in there. And there's the entire group of the Justice League members. Yes. Oh, that's right. Because if they were going to have Thanksgiving, they'd be wearing their costumes. I feel sorry for Bruce. It's like, oh man, don't spill any gravy on your costume there, guys. I love how they have Ryan Reynolds in there too. Ryan Reynolds, but at the same time, I get it because even Zack Snyder has said that, oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds would probably be his Hal Jordan. And then, of course, we have Wayne T. Carr. Wow, that's so crazy how, like, okay, so obviously they're taken from the image of this right here. And then, man, it gets kind of armory right there. I wonder if that's what Zack was actually wanting right there. Nod. All right, there's always room for more. Snyderverse and everything. I was like, what? Oh, we're now just... But it's like some of those images don't even need, like... You actually have footage. You actually had footage of Barry and Iris from Zack Snyder's Justice League. You actually had footage of Mira and Arthur from Aquaman. What are we doing? Why did you have to AI still images for those? And why did you have to AI Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot's, like, little shoot? They had, like, a BVS shoot, and you're going to AI that? To what? Like they're in a relationship, I guess? Oh, man. I was like, what the hell, man? This is what's going to happen, folks. This is what's going to happen. we will probably see, and these guys will do it, there's probably going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 and the Batfleck movie with the AI getting better and better. These guys are just going to take those storyboards and really bring them to life, most likely, because they're already doing this. I've seen the posters. There's so much stuff when it comes to AI. They're utilizing AI already. And like I said, I mean, even though they think that something is happening right now, which it's not, but they think something's happening right now where we're definitely going to, in fact, get Justice League 2 and 3. But it's, it's just, if it does happen, if anything does happen, it would be years and years. So they're going to utilize the AI technology that's out there, your Soras, your now, what is it, the Nano Banana or whatever the hell. Everything out there is just getting better and better as we go along. They're just going to they'll probably take the storyboards and bring those to life for sure. There's just going to be a lot of that. And somebody's just going to actually try to attempt to do that. Or there's going to be like a bunch of shots. It's just what's going to happen. It's what's going to happen. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. It's just what it is. It's just what it is, man. What's going on, Danny? My Thanksgiving was pretty freaking good. I will say that. If you need some clever ideas to decorate your tree that'll be like conversation starters, do this. That's freaking awesome right there. So somebody took a picture of that is great. That is fantastic right there. That guy that Zack Snyder wanted to cast as John Stewart, who is he? Has he been in anything? No. It's so funny because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, Wayne T. Carr is an actor, and you might have he hasn't really done much. He's been in things. If you look at it, his name is Wayne T. Carr. It was kind of funny because the only other thing I've seen him in where he was in a DirecTV commercial, which was crazy because it was after it was revealed that he was actually, Zack shot that scene. And, I always hate to be that guy because, of course, I've seen people, obviously Wayne T. Carr is supposed to be, but it's like, well, the only thing is, though, like Zack went rogue, which is cool, and I love the fact that it's this, and I love the fact that Wayne T. Carr got recognition for it. But if the studio allowed Zack to shoot that scene with Jon Stewart's Green Lantern that he wanted, Wayne T. Carr would not have been cast. He wouldn't have been cast. It was almost like fate, I guess you could say. Because, Zack went rogue, shot that scene in his driveway, and, of course, got somebody kind of off the books a little bit. Ray Fisher knew who he was. So, but if Warner Brothers would have allowed him to actually shoot that scene as it was, like how he wanted it, there's no way that Zack would have actually cast Wayne because it would have been somebody else, 100%. But the fact that he had to go like kind of off the cuff and went rogue, which was great, then we got to know. And I've had Wayne T. Carr on the Vodka stream. When it was revealed that it was him, people were like hitting him up, and he was just going on podcasts. He was going on and it's great that he got the attention. It's great that he got the attention. I'm sure he would have knocked it out. I'm sure he would have knocked it out. But I'm just like, I always like to, I don't like to, but I said this once before. I'm like, hate to say it, but if Zack got his way, we wouldn't have gotten him. It would have been somebody else. But, I'm not, but I feel dickish for saying that because I'm sure he would have knocked it out. He definitely would have knocked it out, but what else we got here? So, Deadpool and Wolverine. So apparently, again, when it comes to box office and all this kind of stuff, I don't know. There's we keep on box office discussion. We're going to be talking about Supergirl's box office, but when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, apparently when it came to Forbes, well, total budget of Deadpool and Wolverine was over $533 million. The fourth most expensive film of all time. That was according to Forbes, but after everything, and then of course we have the community note right there, it was actually the net budget was $430 million, because that's what it says in the article. And of course, I don't know why, I don't know why I even thought about listening to Cosmic Marvel or anything like that. Because, yeah, there's nets, there's different things. It's still very expensive. That's still a pretty pricey budget right there, a net budget of $430 million. But at the same time, guess what? It worked. It worked for them. Movie made over $1 billion, so it worked. It made a ton of money and people loved it. So it actually did work. So I guess we could just chalk it up as that. Who cares? I don't know. Wasn't Green Lantern? No, it wasn't going to be Tyrese. No, fuck no. No. I don't think there was ever going to be, they were looking at what's his name that I can't remember his name right now. And I actually liked him. There was like rumors that it was going to be this one certain dude. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. God, what the fuck? He was, wasn't he in, he was in Straight Outta Compton? Was it the guy that, hold on a sec. I can't remember his name. Michael T. Jordan. Let's see, who was it? Wow, fuck, I can't remember his name because I remember hearing that it was possibly going to be this guy. Let's see. I know he was in the Predator movie. Not Chris Tucker. He was in the Predator movie, that shitty Predator movie. But he's also in other things, too. That's right. Trevante Rhodes. Trevante Rhodes. I remember hearing that he was being looked at. Like, that was actually legit. Like, when things were going on in casting, when Zack was still there. That's right, he was in Moonlight. I was like, that's right, Moonlight, Bird Box. Yeah, Trevante Rhodes was being looked at. He played Mike Tyson, that's right, in the miniseries also. And I thought that would have been a good choice. Michael T. Jordan was also going to be Black Superman. T or B? Are you talking about Michael B. Jordan? You're talking about Michael B. Jordan, right? Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was going to... trying to produce that. Remember Charlie Hunnam? Yeah, Will It Be? Yeah, I remember the Charlie Hunnam Will It Be, where somebody was just bugging Zack for that. Yeah, I was like, Michael T. Jordan. I'm like, is there another Michael Jordan? Oh, my God. It's okay. I figured we were talking about. Yeah, the JJ Black Superman project, that's not happening. Apparently that got, because nobody wanted it. Because they were talking about, race swapping Clark Kent. It's like, why do that when there's Black Superman characters? Because just easily do that. Okay, when it comes to this, again, when somebody brought this to my attention before, I went, holy crap, this could actually be perfect. When it comes to certain characters in the DCU and James Gunn, if you're paying attention and if you have any plans, and obviously you do have plans to have a Batman in your DCU, so you need a James Gordon. And hey, if Batman's already well established and there's already going to be a Bat family, guess what? You got Babs. So she's out there as well. And again, I think we can all agree that we can actually literally have a father and daughter acting duo that could play both those characters. And somebody, of course, took it upon themselves to, hey, I'm going to take this image of these two and then place, the character on them. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, Ethan Hawke and his daughter Maya Hawke, of course, now that Stranger Things Season 5 just came out. Yes, it was made with AI, and yes, you could see that that's the case. Of course, probably, yeah. But at the same time, look at how good that looks. That looks really good. I mean, it's just, you see that, and it's like, James Gunn should be calling them up and be like, hey, if we do this, yeah, you guys are in. I mean, that just looks pretty damn perfect right there. I mean, she's like my favorite character in Season 5 right now. It's just because I just like her wittiness. She sounds like her mom, too, by the way. Uma. You listen to her and you go, oh, my God, she sounds just like her mom. So, those Uma Thurman vibes. You just realize they're related? Yeah, you know, makes sense. You know, it happens. It happens. All right, what else we got? Okay, we got, wait for that. Let's see. Got more. Nope, we're going to be talking about that. There's my Stranger Things thing. Okay, no. That's all. I saw this GIF. I don't know why. I mean, it's from GIF's shitpost, so naturally it was going to be something ridiculous. I saw this on my feed, and I just started laughing. I started absolutely laughing, and, you know, you guys look at it. I mean, somebody, you know, basically made Superman have that big D energy right there. That's for damn sure. Holy crap. It's like, I saw that and I just started laughing. I just started laughing. You can't help but laugh right there. It's just, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but repost that because I'm like, fuck, that's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Oh, man. And hey, we got two very talented, awesome filmmakers that are teaming up for a movie that they're going to be producing a movie, which is sounds pretty awesome. Obviously, we got Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele will team up for the first time to produce Portrait of God, directed by Dylan Clark. The film, based on a short film of the same name, follows a religious woman who discovers the answer to the question, what does God look like? What if God was one of us? Yeah, so that actually sounds pretty cool. And you got Raimi, you got old school horror director and new school. You know, that's going to be pretty interesting. But Jordan, when's your next movie coming out, man? You know, it was supposed to come out this month. Or, you know, something. When are we going to get that next Jordan Peele movie? That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, Lois can handle it. Lois can handle it, guys. Ready or not, here I come. I'm gonna find you. Well, we know we got the sequel to Ready or Not, which is Ready or Not, Here I Come, of course. Why not add that to the title? I really enjoyed the first Ready or Not movie. I thought it was pretty great. Of course, Samara Weaving was in it. And if you saw that movie, it's batshit crazy and the way it ends and everything. So naturally, she does survive. Spoiler alert. Of course she survives. But it's still a very entertaining movie to watch. But People Magazine, we're probably going to get a trailer soon. God knows when. But we got some images of her. And that's, what's her name? Catherine Newton. Her and Catherine Newton. We got some images right there. Look at those eyes. Something's going on. So she got admitted to some kind of hospital or something. And then we got a shot right here of some new family. We got Sarah Michelle Gellar right here. And I don't know who the rest of this family is, but apparently they're going to be playing another game of hide and seek or something. I mean, obviously, if you watch that movie, there's a whole history when it comes to these games. It's really fucked up if you watch that movie. But there's a whole history, so I'm guessing that's what's happening is like, oh, okay, it's just like another part of the family. They're expanding that as well. And I didn't even know when it came to that movie. Let's see, where was it? Oh, man. What's his name? Did it just it went away? I don't know. Oh, there you go. There's even more right here when it comes to Elijah Wood. But yeah, there's Sarah Michelle Gellar. I can't remember what this dude's name is. But yeah, so yeah, Elijah Wood, Sean Hattasey, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and David Cronenberg. That's right, that's David Cronenberg right there. Forgot that Cronenberg is actually in this. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks pretty good. All right. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the tweets. Right there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, but I'm looking forward to that one. Like I said, the first one was good. First one was really good. All right, let's get into some DCU news, huh? Let's get into some DCU news. Not much out there. Like I said, we got CCXP that's happening. Yeah, so DCU news. We got CCXP that's happening, of course. I think it's happening this week sometime. So everybody's all eyes, of course, on what's going to be brought there. We got, hopefully we're going to be getting some superhero? No, not a superhero. Of course we're going to get superhero stuff. Supergirl. Yeah, Supergirl news and a trailer, possibly a teaser like we got last year for Superman. Can you believe it's almost been a year since we got that first teaser trailer for Superman? It's crazy to think about, but hopefully we're going to be getting some kind of cool little Supergirl teaser trailer in that same vein. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it seems like that's a good opportunity to do so. So we're all eyes on that for sure. But when it comes to Supergirl, we have a couple of things here, and naturally this is just, okay, and again, this is just the way things are right now, but Forbes posted an article that was basically going like, hey, what's happening here? So we have this article right here. Inside Amelia Alcock's meteoric rise from the inner west to the Westeros. So there's a whole article right here talking about Amelia Alcock, and she says plenty of things when it comes to her career, House of the Dragon, and all of that. And then naturally, Supergirl, that was something that was also talked about as well. Naturally, that was going to be talked about when it came to this. So when it came to, of course, that, and then now when it comes to Supergirl, like she says, people mean well, but sometimes when sometimes they invade your space, they chase you, you lose anonymity. I still want to take the tube and go to the pub. I like that. She's a drinker. It's cool. In London, it's fine. In other places, not so much. It comes in waves. I know when Supergirl comes out, things will shift again. That's right. I think she's a little worried. She's a little worried about when Supergirl comes out, because, her star power is going to go up. I mean, it already has because she's shown up naturally in Superman. When she received a text to confirm she landed Supergirl, Alcock's first reaction was a jubilation and fear. I thought, what have I done? I really struggled to believe I could do it. I even called the director saying, I don't know how to be that person. I'm just me. The panic didn't last. Eventually I realized the only way through was to trust myself. I said thrust myself. Jesus Christ. I'm having a good time reading these quotes right now. Thrust myself? That sounds really dirty. Good job, Dave. I always believe life is right on time. Things happen when they're supposed to, whether you feel ready or not. Can we just talk about ready or not? Jesus. So, yeah. So there was that. So naturally, she's a little worried. And yeah, it's like one of those things too, because when you get a big role like that, there's a lot of pressure on you. And then all of a sudden, people are going to know who you are. You're not going to be able to just go to that pub down the street and just sit there and be like, okay, I'm good. Maybe some people will be like, hey, you look a little bit familiar. Do I know you? And maybe just brush it off. But she's going to be Supergirl and the movie could be huge. You never know. Or it might not be huge. That's always a possibility. But yeah, I could see her being a little worried that, oh my God, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. But so when it came to the Forbes article, also, this is what they were saying that the Supergirl budget is. $200 million, which sounds about right. Especially if it takes place in the cosmos. You got a bunch of VFX backgrounds, you got a bunch of VFX, and you got some big set pieces. That kind of sounds right. Sounds right. 200 million? Okay. $200 million. But I always kind of figured that it would be less than Superman, because Superman was 200 to 220 reported, right? It was 200 to 220. So I figured that Supergirl might be a little bit less. And according to Jimmy Gunn's, yeah, that ain't fucking true. Not even a little bit true. So what is the budget? So if it's not even a little bit true, does that mean it's got to be what? 100 and, we were thinking like 130? 40? What is that Supergirl budget? Interesting. But it makes sense that it might not, it's probably not going to be as much as Superman. I don't know. It's so interesting. Again, who do you trust? Who knows? Do you trust the studio? Do you trust Forbes? Do you trust, a fucking scooper? Who do you trust? Who do you trust these days? You just assume like, okay, somebody's telling the truth, or we could just be like, hey, let's just have like a little bit of an estimate. Let's just combine. Let's combine what they're saying and they're saying, and let's just come to a number of, hey, maybe it's $146 million production budget. Yeah? Is that okay? But naturally, it doesn't even matter because Kevin Smith said it the best. He said, nobody actually knows what the actual budget is. The studios are always going to report lower, but then there's also tax write-offs. There's marketing with other companies, so you get money from that. There's so many different factors, That's why when it came to the whole Superman thing and that whole box office, which is still being talked about right now, you still got these chuckleheads that are still trying to be like, it was a flop. It was a flop. It's like, no, that's your penis. Sorry, I don't know why I went that direction, but I did. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. My brain just went that direction. Sorry. But the fact that DC Studios is still moving forward and there's still a sequel just shows that, okay, it was not a flop for sure. And I'm just kind of wondering, I'm like, okay. But there's a chance that Supergirl could make a pretty good profit if it just resonates with the general audience and people go to it because it's different and you got this sassy Supergirl, not your mom's Supergirl, kind of thing. So it could do some gangbusters. But what's funny too is I meant to bring this screenshot up. Let me see if I can find it here. Jason Momoa is gonna be used a lot. Oh yeah, Jason Momoa. Supergirl has the potential of putting some serious female butts in the seats with Jason Momoa and the fact that you have like this sassy Supergirl who likes to get drunk. So we got Cosmic Book news right here, of course, posting some more bullshit. Fans hoping for more serious or heroic Supergirl apparently aren't getting that version in the DCU. It's a direct callback to Tom King's Women of Tomorrow, which I'm assuming Matt McGroin has never read or even got a fucking synopsis of it. A comic widely criticized for turning Supergirl into a bitter, booze-fueled character. Yeah, there's a specific reason why in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, guess what? The hero grows into... Okay, I don't expect Mr. McGroin to understand a character's journey at all. That's the story Gunn chose for his movie. That's not Gunn's movie, by the way. Somebody pitched him the story and the script, and he said the script is so good that he was like, yeah, let's do that script. And then he's not directing it. So already the wording right here, but I know Matt McGroin uses like ChatGPT to write his posts, to write his articles, because he's a lazy fuck. And this CCXP setup makes it clear they're sticking to that portrayal. So there you go. That's what's so funny. She's grieving. Yes, I know. There you go. She's grieving. She's grieving. She's numbing. That's what it is. It's all about that. It's like, again, if you want to believe the bullshit that comes out from that guy, and like I said, he's just being a lazy fuck, typing things into ChatGPT and then posting them. Totally, 100%. You could tell when that's happening, 100%. But it's just, again, obviously, he wants his scoop of, Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, and the Saudis. The Saudis, they're going to be restoring the Snyderverse, and James Gunn's out. It's like, his whole thing is, which, of course, if it doesn't happen, he's just going to be like, yeah, well, sorry, and then move on to the next BS that he puts out there, for sure. So, yeah, don't listen to that. It's just so funny. I'm like, wait, that's not even the story. What are you thinking right here? But yeah, so who knows what the budget of Supergirl is gonna be? Who knows? Let's see what else we got here. There was skipped over something right here. Nope, not that. What am I looking at? What am I looking for? No, well, I'll get to it. Okay, I'll get to it. Because, yeah, some weird stuff. But in the life of James Gunn. Okay, so obviously Jimmy Gunn's running DC Studios. What's his life like? Probably pretty hectic, but he seems to love how hectic his life is. So somebody asked, hi, James Gunn. Just curious, what is your average day-to-day schedule routine like over at DC Studios co-CEO? He says, the fun of the job is there is no average day. The majority of days currently are spent prepping Man of Tomorrow, storyboarding, and department meetings, and scouting and casting, interspersed with going over cuts of Supergirl and Lanterns, discussing marketing on all the projects, reading and making notes on new scripts, supporting the Batman 2 crew to make sure it goes smoothly, waiting for the first cut of Clayface. Can't wait! Okaying designs for all kinds of stuff, and I'm sure many things I'm forgetting. Yeah, like calling your wife. I'm like, make sure she's good. I mean, like, come on. Jennifer Holland, you know, come on, man. Just saying. Make sure you fit spending some time with your wife. She is part of the DC universe. So that's a day in the life right there when it comes to Jimmy Gunn's. And yeah, that's what it is. You know, but he even says, he said in like interviews on podcast stuff that he's a workaholic. He loves doing that stuff. That's just part of him. You know, and I think because, you know, he has just that kind of mind. He's got that workaholic mind. I think a lot of us can relate to that, especially when you're trying to do something like this. And again, what 2026 is going to be very interesting because it's non-James Gunn projects. It's just him producing projects. So it's going to be interesting. And of course, he posted some things as well, but we don't have to go over all of them. Oh, yeah. Ferdinand Kingsley from Silo has joined Supergirl as Elias Null, Ruthie's father. Ruthie, I am your father. So there you go. There's your somebody who was added to Supergirl right there. Forgot to see that. And yeah, there's also a Supergirl Instagram and Twitter account that was created recently because marketing is about to start at CCXP. That's for damn sure. So should be good. All right. And then what else do I have? Oh, yeah. So here we go. So when it comes to Supergirl and when it comes to the interactive booth, this is the description that's happening at CCXP. Supergirl, have fun in a new planet. Description of the activation. Get ready to venture into Supergirl's intergalactic bar. Don't worry, she doesn't own the bar, but she could be. What? She doesn't own the bar, but she could be. Okay. Have fun in the crypto challenge. Take lots of photos with our otherworldly popcorn machine. Compete against your friends in Kryptonian speed and strength battles and dance to our hits. Stay alert and don't miss the chance to win prizes from the claw machine. Good luck. So essentially, the interactive booth is going to be that bar that you kind of like, if you read the book, that you see it, it's in the beginning of the story, and we already saw the image of her kind of at the bar. So, basically, if you're looking at that, like what was right there, you're going to see something like that there, which is cool. But I think that's what, Mr. Matt McGroin was like, oh, yeah, it's just going to be like her getting drunk. It's just her drunk all the time because, that fucking guy. So it should be like a cool little interaction, that's going to be interesting to see when people talk about all of that and everything. So. And then Jimmy Gunn's talking about Batman and the most requested thing when it comes to Batman. What is it? Of course, the costume, and the costume being blue and gray. And of course, we got our boy Ben Everts from Real Anarchy who actually asked the question. And then here's like the response when it comes to that question. The most requested thing would be the blue and gray. Then the yellow around the bat. Of course, the oval. And then the white eyes. But all those things I find less important than the character himself, the writing, and the person who plays him. Individuals are making clear that what they want to see, but even the most requested thing, the blue and gray. This is his response right there to Ben, is split evenly with people who don't want that. And the other two most requested things are also things just as many people say they don't want to see. So you have to do what's right by specific film and story. Not the first time that Jimmy Gunn has specifically said this. He said this with Tom Segura on Tom Segura's podcast. If you go find that podcast, he actually says that to Tom, because Tom even said, yeah, have the blue and gray Batman suit, the bat suit. Bring that in there. So Jimmy Gunn said a version of that right here when Ring of Anarchy asked about like the most requested thing. And people were talking about the suit. They talk about the white eyes. But even Jimmy Gunn said specifically, no, it's all about the story. It's more about the story and the fucking actor playing him. Which he's not wrong. Yes, the costume is very important too. Let's not get that. Let's not say the costume is not that important, Jimmy Gunn. It is pretty important. It is, especially a bat suit. Bat suit's pretty damn important, sure. But I see what he's saying when it comes to story, when it comes to the character how they're writing the character, and then who plays the character. 100% with you on that. But the suit is important there, Jimmy. Let's make sure. Let's make sure we're doing it. Yeah? Okay. And, yeah. So there you go. I think that's all the DCU news that we got right there. Like I said, things are kind of light right now but we'll see what happens. When does CCXP start? I'm trying to remember. I remember I looked it up. I think it starts on the 5th. Of course, does CCXP start? Starts this week. 4th. Starts on Thursday. So yeah, it starts on Thursday. So come Thursday, we'll see that interactive Supergirl booth that people will be seeing. So we'll probably be seeing footage already shown, I'm guessing. So that should be interesting. And then I'm wondering, is Lanterns going to be there? We already talked about the teaser for Lanterns that was shown at the upfront. Is Lanterns going to be there? That's what's also going to be interesting. We shall see, though. We shall see, folks. Warner Brothers and Netflix. Uh-oh. What's happening here? Jesus Christ. This whole thing. It could happen. It could happen, folks. I don't know. And, I just kind of briefly did a Trump impression right there. And, well, let's face it, that guy is going, I don't know, this might be violating some antitrust laws. Yeah, there's some weird things that are happening when it comes to Netflix bidding for Warner Brothers, which a lot of us have our gripes about it. That's for damn sure. And, it's so funny, too, because naturally those guys that get very upset when you push back against their stupid fucking hashtag when it comes to sell the Snyderverse to Netflix, which was just always a dumb hashtag. But now that it might be, Warner Brothers might fully go over to Netflix, so let's change the hashtag to that because, I think deep down they know that they knew that it was a stupid hashtag. I don't know. Or I don't, you've seen the guys, But, yeah, it's looking a little weird because, so there's this article right here, and obviously so from Bloomberg right here reported this, which is very interesting. Netflix offers mostly cash for Warner Brothers in new bid round. Whoa! So they're just like, Sarandos and crew are just like, hey, Zazzy Pants, check this out, huh? We're just gonna make it rain on you, Zazzy. They're like full on cash. Does that make it better? Does cash make it better? I guess it can. But then I read some things too when it comes to all this. Let me pull this up. I bookmarked because some of these guys that posted some of this, there's some weird things right here because not only did we have that whole thing of like, oh yeah, it's getting a little and apparently, and obviously these CEOs are very much friends with each other. Zazzy Pants and Sarandos, they're friends with each other naturally. But then the New York Post, they posted this right here over the weekend This is over the weekend. White House officials have raised antitrust concerns over Netflix's bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Sources! So you have all this right here talking about the senior White House officials have recently discussed antitrust concerns surrounding Netflix's interest in acquiring the Warner Brothers studio and the HBO Max streaming service, raising doubts whether such a deal would give Netflix too much power over Hollywood. Too much power. And it's just like Netflix getting, I mean, I think that's what a lot of us kind of go, how frick. It's just like getting a little scary when it comes to this. So let's see. I was following this guy's stuff right here. Let's see. And he was kind of breaking it down. Did he have it? Let's see. I'm just trying to find everything right here. Let's find some of this stuff right. Okay, I think it starts with this right here. So this is Charles Gasparino, who, he's a Fox Biz guy, New York Post, yeah, whatever. I know people see Fox and whatever, but I'm just going by what he's reporting right here. Scoop, a second round offers come due today for WBD. A banker who recently met with Trump said he had this to say about the CEO of one of the bidders, Comcast. Trump couldn't stop saying how much he can't stand Brian Roberts. What? Trump can't stand somebody. What did he call him? What name did he call him? That's right, I hate that Roberts guy. He's a bloated face. I don't know what he calls him. Sorry, Mr. Roberts, renaming MSNBC to, the MS, of course he hates him. Won't erase the president's head years of abuse, of course, to Maddow and co. And let's see. And then, of course, we have here breaking. Bidders on WBD say, what the fuck? I swear, I hate this new thing. I get it. I have, good Lord. Elon, what are you doing with these little pop-up things right here? Bidders on WBD say the board has really warmed up to the Netflix offer, including kudos to Steven Sunshine for a lot of reasons, including the chemistry between Zaz and Sarandos, but are worried about the regulatory hurdles, as I reported today in the NY Post, including a 2-year slog through Trump DOJ antitrust EU exams, even before this even gets to court. Other thing I picked up is the value of the WBD stock. Cable properties, i.e. CNN, are considered pretty minimus in the context of the entire transaction. So again, there's the whole, it's like such a weird thing. It's like the government is like, wait, you're gonna have too much power over here with like Netflix, even though they're liking like the bids and probably maybe liking the cash stuff. There's just weird things that are going on. And now they're like, oh yeah, maybe we would go with them, but then there's going to be like 2 years of going back and forth with the government, at least like the Trump administration. Who knows if the next administration, depending on, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it would probably depend on that. Who knows what's going to happen to it. But so if Netflix were to get it, the merge wouldn't probably fully happen because they would have all these hurdles probably for another 2 years. I don't know. Again, logistics of all this is all pretty crazy and all just don't go to Netflix. Zazzy pants, just don't go to Netflix. My God. Just please don't go to Netflix. We don't need it to go to Netflix. It's all just blech. What are you guys talking about right now? You guys arguing in there? Yeah, so I think that's pretty much like a lot of the stuff that was being talked about when it comes to that. Anyways. Universal probably would be a better choice. I just wish they would stay they stay on their own. I just wish they'd stay on their own. This is all just like just really crazy. All pretty crazy. Anyways, box office, who went to the movies this weekend? Obviously, you guys know I saw Eternity on Thanksgiving night, which I really enjoyed, and I highly recommend that movie. I thought it was really well done. So we got the top right here. Obviously, Zootopia 2 just made a killing. It obviously extended weekend. It adds a little bit more to it, but it look at the gross. Look at this shit. It already is past $500 million. There were people. There were projections out there that it was going to make over $500 million, and people were calling bullshit on it. And look what happened: $560.3 million box office. Look at that international number. That international number went crazy. International, they love them some talking animals. Zootopia 2 just fucking took off. And then, of course, Wicked for Good. Zootopia passed Wicked for Good after, this is a third week, right? It's just a third or second week? Third week. This is the third week of Wicked for Good, and Zootopia passed it in a weekend. It was a longer weekend, but doesn't matter. We got Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It sits at 186.9. It's the second weekend. Okay. That's right. Second weekend. I'm all mixed up. I was like, wait, second weekend? Yeah, second weekend. Predator Badlands. Like I said, Predator Badlands had good word of mouth at first, a good buzz at first, but it's not really doing that well at the box office. I mean, that's just the truth right there. Sadly, it started off really strong and it got good word of mouth, but it cost $103 million to make, and it's only at 174. Now, I don't know how this affects any future plans for all of this stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's so weird how it the hype just kind of fell flat for it. The Running Man, of course, this movie just did not take off at all. 60.5 million, sadly. But, I love Edgar Wright, but I even had problems with it. And then, of course, Eternity, the movie I saw, opened up with 5.4. Not sure how much that movie cost. But, again, I highly suggest seeing it. It's a good little rom-com. It got some cool ideas in there. And, the whole time you're going, who's she going to choose? It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed Eternity. A lot more than I thought I was going to, so that's good. Who's the Granny-nator? I think you're on the Vodka stream too. All right. Let's talk about Zack Snyder and Larry Fong. That's right. We're going to talk about Larry Fong as well, because Larry Fong has entered the game when it comes to, hey, let's post some cool shit from, what Zack was doing. So he decided to post some really cool videos. And I'm telling you, he posted some really good videos when it comes to his work on BVS. Because we must remember, guys, that Larry Fong was the cinematographer for Batman vs. Superman. And that's it. Not Man of Steel, not Zack Snyder's Justice League, just BVS. And I make that, I wanted to emphasize that because we're following. When I said I kind of, ruffled some feathers and, stirred the pot a little bit when it came to things on the good old Twitter. Yeah, there was there's something I posted, which I'll talk about. I don't really want to emphasize it because, those guys get so easily triggered. And man, they get so triggered, so friggin' triggered. And it's just, it's really funny. But let's see. Sorry, I'm just pulling up some things. Me ruffling feathers? What are you talking about? Okay, so let's see there. Let's go to Zack's Instagram and see what he's been posting lately, because we love it when Zack be posting some pictures. See what he's doing lately. Okay, so let's start off with this. So naturally, he posted this right here, the Leica monochrome hard suit. I love how he calls it the hard suit. He doesn't call it the mech suit. He calls it the hard suit. And we've seen this before. He's posted this before on Vero, and it looks really freaking cool, of course. And that is not Ben Affleck. That is Richard Citrone yet again. And then, of course, Miss Vanessa Hudgens, which, oh, man. So hot. Anyways, Vanessa Hudgens from Sucker Punch. So a little like promo shot right there, which is probably shot. I think it was shot by him. Yeah. So she's looking good. And then look at that, Jesus. Rigor Mortis Effects created this incredible prosthetic for the last photograph and absolutely nailed it. We're lucky to have artists like this bringing our characters to life. But yeah, just totally, we get a hand just like ripped off, and that's Zack right here. You can see Zack right here filming whatever this is, what's happening right here, and that's just another gorgeous, freaking gorgeous shot right there. So good. And then, of course, there's the shot of photo by Clark Kent. I love how Zack just said, hey, photo by Clark Kent. Love that. Love that. And then, of course, hey, he's posting some Rebel Moon-ness right here. Shot with the Leica monochrome and the cinema modified 50 millimeter Dream lens by Zero Optic. So there's Sophie Boutella looking pretty good. And then, hey, there's the two photographers right there. His friend Kleanos in Iceland. Just posing. Just posing. Why not pose? Two good-looking chaps right there. They got an eye for detail. What did he post last night? Last night he said, it's the perfect night to watch the black and white cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. Justice is gray. Turn the lights down. Turn the volume up. Hashtag Justice Gray. Hashtag Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut. So he posted that last night. Who watched it? Anybody watch it? Well, it's a 4-hour long movie. But I always say the Justice Gray version, superior version. That's just me right there. I get it. People like color because, obviously, you want to see the color of their costumes. And, there's a lot of things visually. But there's something very interesting, and I always say it, when you watch the Justice is Gray version of Justice League, of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I always say it's like the most expensive indie movie that you'll ever see. Who would have thunk it that you'd see a movie with Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman? You would see this Justice League movie in fucking black and white. There's just something about it. Again, what did I say before? There's something about black and white. So I don't know how many times I put on, when I want to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, I will put on the black and white version, the Justice is Gray version. And that's even Zack's preferred cut, of course, because he likes him some black and white. I had a copy of BVS in black and white. That also looks really good. Just things look good in black and white. Logan, there's like somebody, I think they released a Logan in black and white. That looks good. There's certain movies that could just, if it's shot a certain way, it just looks good in black and white. I love that. I just love that. Absolutely love that. It's a good thing. So what was Larry Fong posting? So let's see what Larry Fong was doing on the tweets, because he joined in. Netflix is clearing space for Snyder to bring back. Where's there he is. That's not him. That's Lawrence Fong. I was like, that's not him. I don't think he goes by Larry Fong. Let's see what we got here. So the first thing, what was the first thing? Okay. So one of the first things that Larry Fong actually posted when it came to all this stuff, he posted this little behind the scenes right here. I'm being asked a lot lately if I might try shooting IMAX. Me, yes, 10 years ago. And he posted this right here, which of course is like a little little test. And there's of course Richard Citrone, because of course Richard Citrone did this scene right here, the nightmare scene that they did. And so you get a little behind the scenes right here, which is really cool. I mean, it's just, movie magic is just fun. Movie magic is always just so much fun right there. So he posted that, and then he continued. Right here, like he saw this, like the behind the scenes image right here, the Batman, the Batman warehouse scene, and he said, "Cool, here's the cutout in the floor I mentioned last week." So he was talking about how like there's like a cutout in the floor, and he actually, I think he posted it. He also posted this right here, Lois Lane. We got a little business card Daily Planet. And then he said camera rigs for Bruce Wayne driving scene and opening a BVS. So those are like the little camera rigs on the bikes with those intense, and then even the car. So that looks cool. And he says Larry Fong right here, showing like he's also showing a black and white image of the bullet being exchanged between Swanwick and Lois. Watch out. And then, of course, I don't want to, hey, I'm not the only one ranting on the parade where I'm saying pump the brakes, you guys. And, good old Drewski right here. Drewski's been in my mentions many times because, and, he still didn't answer the question of why he deleted a certain tweet. But, he never will. But, Larry Fong said right here, Zack's posting some past memories on Instagram, so I thought I would too. They were good times. Don't try to read too much into it. Thank you. Pump the brakes, guys. Pump the brakes. It's literally Larry Fong right there going, hey, let's not look too much into things. And what else? Okay, so he also said something else too when responding to people, because again, it's like, hey, anything could happen in the future for sure. But what else did he post right here? Right here. I screenshot it. Did you talk to Zack Snyder about the chances of Justice League 2 and 3 happening? Although we talk fairly regularly? No. Pump the brakes. Or he's lying. Or Zack can't say anything. Again, I still, when it comes to all this, I'm like, this is the first time that it's ever happened where two studios are going to end up merging together. A studio is buying another studio, and they're talking to a director and a foreign country, apparently also, that things are happening when it comes to certain DC Universe movies. When you just break it down like that, how fucking crazy does that sound? It sounds crazy, right? Doesn't that sound crazy? I don't know how many times I have to emphasize that's never happened. And there are people out there that think that's happened. And you got Larry Fong right here going, hey, relax a little bit. Although he did, when responding to somebody else, did also say, never say never. Of course. Because never say never. Never say never. I still hope in a few years from now that there could be that Kingdom Come movie that Jay Oliva talked about, because apparently they had a Kingdom Come idea when it came to the Snyderverse that could possibly happen somewhere down the line. That would be pretty sweet. And if we get Cavill and Affleck and Gal Gadot and everybody back, not Ezra, probably not. But I'm just saying, if you can get some people back for like a Kingdom Come story, that'd be cool. And get Larry Fong to shoot it, that'd be pretty sweet. But, so yeah, there was that. And then, of course, Larry Fong, the last thing that Mr. Fong posted was, this is funny right here. So he posted this last little video, and then, well, actually not the last, this is the last thing he posted on Twitter. So this is of course, the Batmobile going, slamming into Superman. And you got Zack right here that was actually, he was doing the lighting, as in like the headlights of the Batmobile hitting him. But I love this right here because he does that. Cut it out. And then runs up. And I made the joke that it's kind of like when Napoleon Dynamite was, doing his whole dance thing on stage, and then the music stopped, and then he just runs off, the Napoleon Dynamite dance. I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, so that was kind of cool too, right there. And one of the founders of the Sell the Snyderverse hashtag, one of the founders. Apparently, you could be a founder of a hashtag. It's a little weird. Usually, you're a founder of a business or a piece of land. I don't know, but apparently, you could be a co-founder of a hashtag. I couldn't help it. Again, I felt sassy. Again, I didn't go to my dad's, so I was at home and I was feeling sassy. And somebody made it be known when it came to that this individual who was a co-founder of the Sell the Snyderverse hashtag, he put Man of Steel, the making of a masterpiece. He thought it was Man of Steel, and I just went, there you go. Not even these guys know which movie is which. I was like, And then naturally, of course, that caused a ruckus. And one of the guys, his name's like, I think his name's Austin or something. That is a very, very angry individual. Came in my mentions and, of course, said some shit. I think he's like part of that little ski walker little panel right there. Very angry individual. And it's just like I saw his tweets and I was like, all right, cool. He called me like little boy or something like that because that's what they resort to. Yeah, because I'm not a tall person. Sorry that I wasn't dealt the genetic hand to be like 6 foot or whatever. My bad. You know, but you have the option to not be fucking stupid. But, you know, that's just me. Or, you know, an asshole. Whatever. It's fine. It's just kind of funny. But it was just, yeah. I saw, like, yeah, very interesting. But I had to make the joke. Yeah, hey, brain fart. Sure. It probably was just a brain fart. But it's just kind of funny. But because if you're so, like, if you're tweeting about this every day and talking about this all the time and being a co-founder of a hashtag, you'd think you know that Larry Fong only was the cinematographer for one of the movies. He probably didn't know that. It was like literally all 3 movies had 3 different cinematographers, you know? And that's what's so funny. Because, yeah, Man of Steel, I mean, yeah, it was just, Man of Steel was a mere mockery. Yeah, it was like, I didn't even know that at first. I knew it wasn't Larry Fong, but I was like, I don't even remember who the guy was. And then, of course, you had Fabian Wagner, who I actually interviewed on the Vox stream before the Snyder Cut came out. Really nice dude. But yeah, you think, you know, it's too, you know, especially if it's just like, you had a 50-50 chance and you chose wrong. And that just was kind of funny. But hey, you know, just chalk it up as a brain fart. It happens. I'm just saying. But I also got the threat from one of them that, once I make a mistake, they're going to come after me. So if I make a mistake, which I do, I make mistakes because I'm fucking human. Those guys are going to come after me. But yeah, I wasn't dealt the genetic, because they've made fun of me on one of their streams that I'm not tall. But you know what's funny? I'm the same height as Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's not tall either. It's okay, though. Because that's, you know, that's their, you know, God. You know, me, though, they could throw that shit at me. It's not like I could just, like, stop eating or eat something to get taller. Not like something I can help or anything like that. But, hey, that's totally fine. All right. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But, yeah, it was just funny seeing the reaction, of course. You get people just acting crazy when it comes to all this. Didn't Zack do the yeah, he did the cinematography and Rebel Moon. He's done that, and he's doing it for The Last Photograph. He's been his own cinematographer for now his last 3 movies. Oh yeah, it's done deal. You can't do anything. That's why it's always funny, like you know, when he there's always that thing, you know, when it comes to, hey, you don't talk about someone's weight, and how dare you say that? You know, you can get made fun of about your height. Guys can get made fun of about their height like crazy, and you just got to take it. You just got to take it. Like, yeah, sorry, yeah, that's what happens. But again, when it comes to that, you can control. But, you know, but yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. And then, like I said, you know. Anyways, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure I'll make those guys upset again. I'll make them upset again. But what's funny about that is, like, what came from all that too. What also came from all that is the fact that you know, I was having people that even were bringing to my attention that those guys, again, I've always felt the hashtag was stupid, but those guys, you know, it was brought to my attention again because it's been brought to my attention before that they are literally not the founders of that hashtag. It's somebody else. So I think it was the Snyder Queen. If you guys have seen her on Twitter, Sammy, she's actually the one that created the hashtag. They took it from her. Well, they ousted her from it. Just like they oust people who don't agree with them, and they get really upset with people that don't agree with them. That's happened more than once. But it was brought to my attention, too, by somebody that was like in my DMs. Oh yeah, they didn't create that hashtag. She did. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense that they would take what's not theirs. Again, they don't like the restore the Snyderverse hashtag because they didn't create it. Yeah, that was another hashtag that went super viral after the Snyder Cut came out. They don't want to deal with that because they weren't around then. They want their own. They want to be victorious. They don't care about anything else but being victorious about that. So, anyways, all right. Let's look at some polls. That's right. I've been doing some daily polls on here, guys. And I said I was like going to start doing this and start showing some results right here. So let's talk about. I talked about some on Friday's vodka stream. So since then, I've ran 3 more polls. And let's see right here. All right, so I ran one that got 2.1K votes, and I said from this list right here, who would you want to be the DCU Batman? Seems like Brandon Sklenar, at least according to my audience, is still the #1 favored Batman, and that's 66%. We got Tom Brittney, who now people are paying attention to, 20%. Lee Pace, I put him in there, 6%, and then Jonathan Bailey was 8%. And then, of course, talking about black and white Superman images, we got 3.3 thousand votes right here. I felt like, well, all right, I was talking about that one image of David Cornsweet that, of course, went viral because of the stupid discourse out there. I wanted to get people, hey, what do you think? And I knew, oh yeah, of course, people are gonna love that Henry Cavill black and white one, 54%. Sadly, David Cornsweet dead last at 5%. Yeah, what can you do? And then, of course, I put George Reeves, who was actually filmed. The show was in black and white. And then I remember, they did a black and white, image of, the Christopher Reeves shot right there. 29%. Good times. And then, of course, when it came to, I totally cheesed up this. What are you most looking forward to the most? I put most twice. Brain fart. I was working while I was doing this. With the first Supergirl trailer, it's still kind of running right now, but right now at 761 votes, I asked what we're looking forward to. Everybody, mainly people are looking forward to seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo, 62%, and then of course 20% to see Amelia Alcock, and then 11% if the tone is like the book, and then 7% when it came to the return of crypto. Yeah, I think I had a feeling. Because I was like, all right, we got the Supergirl trailer, and I was like, all right, I'm going to post a poll, what are people looking forward to? And I had a feeling, I was like, I think people are going to mainly look forward to Jason Momoa, seeing Jason Momoa. Because, I'm guessing they're going to have to show Jason Momoa in that trailer, right? You can't, or at least tease him? They got to tease him. Maybe, I don't know how they're going to treat that. So, anyways, all right. Let's go to some Twitter questions. Let's see. Trying to find. Let's go to some Twitter questions. Where's the Salem Witch Trails? My old manager at my old job called me in his office and said, I heard you like Zack Snyder. Here's an Army of the Dead poster. And they gave me 2. Well, that's cool. I like it. That's pretty sweet. All right. Let's go to some Twitter questions right here. Mr. Eric Blake. Hey, Dave, since we're getting into Christmas season, any new films you plan on adding to this year's lineup? Not that I know of. I don't have anything on my mind. I didn't like that Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans movie, Red One. That's definitely not added to it because I thought that was cheese. We got, I hate this thing right here. Why? We got Mr. Droga right here, Axel. Dave was shooting on location yesterday for my movie. Here's Alucard. Yeah, you came on the last time you were on the Vodka stream. Weren't you wearing this costume? And looked pretty legit to the character, so that's cool. Hope you're having fun with that. That's pretty sweet. Ryan saw this Joker raid mask the other day in the collector's shop. Never have seen one in the wilds. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is. It's got this. That's pretty. That is fucking crazy. Speaking of Joker, who's going to be the DCU clown Prince of Gotham? I say give Timothy Chalamet ago. Ugh. Anytime somebody casts Timothy Chalamet in one of these roles, I'm like, stop it. I don't mind Tiffany Chalamet. I don't mind Timothy Chalamet, but I don't know. I just don't see him as any character in a superhero space. Look at the dreadlocks on this fucking thing. That is nuts. That is pretty sweet looking. I'm not gonna lie. That mask is cultural appropriating. How dare you? Mr. Nobody, I'm totally down for Batman with glue. God damn this stupid thing. Why? Do I have to like click something else to dismiss that where I don't get that pop-up anymore? Blue, let's see, blue and gray colors, but it has to be stylish and a couple of shades darker than Superman's blue. Yes, it needs to be dark blue. Batman is a creature of the night and Superman operates during the day. I really like, yeah, I mean, it was so weird. I mean, let's face it, the Batfleck Flash costume was weird, but it did have the blue and gray color scheme. It did. Master Moti, Supergirl budget in AUD. No idea what AUD means. Can anybody help me with that? Yeah, Walton Goggins would actually be a great Joker. I actually fan cast him at one point. What the hell does AUD mean? Anybody know what that means? Devin Wooter, hey Dave, there's a report that Blade could be pushed back to 2029. The shit you say. But that Blade movie's never fucking coming out. Although I heard that Maya Goth said she got fitted for a wig. She got fitted for a wig. I think Maya Goth said she got fitted for a wig for her characters. So I don't know. Like, damn, why Marvel is scared to make the vampire movie? Do you think they're scared of people bring kids to see the movie? And Rob Liefeld talking trash about the Fantastic Four movie. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I don't know. That report's probably not right. And then Joshua G, which I don't know why you're always putting the spam thing. Hey, Dave, with James Cameron's comments about Avatar 3 maybe being the last one? Oh, I didn't know he said that. I wonder if he's burnt out on the Avatar franchise and just want to be done with it and maybe start to do other films, which in my opinion, I think maybe he shouldn't have taken so long on the second film if he's burnt out on them. And I wonder if he's going to pull a George Lucas and just sell the franchise fully to Disney, which in my opinion will be awful because no other director will capture the James. Yeah, no way. But who knows, because he filmed stuff for, yeah. I mean, he might, because I think he's getting ahead of it. In my opinion, if I didn't read that, I read other things that Jimmy Cams said, but if he said that, I think he's just kind of bracing, that hey, maybe that's it, maybe it's not going to do as well. I don't think it's going to be interesting. The movie comes out in a couple of weeks. The first two movies make $2 billion. Is the third movie going to actually make that much money? I don't think it will. Now, will it make $1 billion? That's the next question. Will it make $1 billion? It's just like, it's one of those things where when the first Avatar came out in 2008, it was like nothing that anybody has seen before. Then there was like this built up anticipation for the sequel, and people went again during when did it come out? Was it during like COVID times? Essentially, yeah. And people wanted to experience that again. Now, are people going to show up for a third time to want to get that experience? That's what's going to be so interesting about that. I'm very curious to see what happens. I mean, I'm going to be there opening night. I'm going to be there in 3D IMAX. I'm just wondering if he's, December of 2022. I just wonder if he's getting ahead of it, where he's just going, yeah, maybe this is the last one. I mean, I think they're still going to have a fourth one, but who knows? I don't know. It's all just very interesting. But it would have been nice to have had other James Cameron movies in the past 20 years, right? I mean, it does kind of suck that in the past 20 years, James Cameron has only given us 2 movies. Now, both of those movies push cinema into new levels, 100%. But I just don't think they have the cultural impact as Terminator, as True Lies, as Titanic. Those movies had like cultural full-on impacts. Avatar didn't quite do that, but it still gave a very unique cinematic experience. They both did. Cinematic experiences that I just don't know is going to happen with the third one. That's what I'm just very curious about. It's just very interesting. But it just would have been nice to have other James Cameron movies that he wrote and directed, like original ideas. Would have been nice to have something of that within the last 20 years. But anyways, that's it. There you go, guys. That is today's show. Thank you guys for, of course, spending some time with me. You guys are awesome. Hit that like, thumbs up on the Patreon. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, I'll do my post show. I'll be recording my post show and posting right there. Sadly, I didn't get around to doing my podcast that I do on Sundays. Totally just blanked on that. I was at my mom's house pretty late watching football, so I didn't quite get to it. So, but I'll definitely be posting the post show on there. So check that out, guys. If you want to subscribe to that, everything's provided down below. And thank you guys for being here. Comments, if you want to, hit that like, thumbs up. Even make a comment before you leave. It helps out the algorithm, having comments and everything. So you guys have a good rest of your Monday. You have a good Tuesday. I'll see you members on Wednesday. And this week's back to normal. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday, you members. And I'll be posting videos. You guys know me. And that's it, guys. Talk to you later.